Well, joining us now is Senator John Boozman, ranking member of the Senate Ag Committee, and come January, chair of the Senate Ag Committee. Senator, welcome. Thanks for taking the time to join us this weekend.
No, thank you as always for having me.
Well, I understand that you met this week with the nominee to serve as USDA Secretary, Brooke Rollins. Let's start off with some insight there. What did you learn from that meeting?
Well, I was very pleased. She's very close to the president, which is so important in these cabinet positions, that she's got his ear. And so because of that and because of some of her views and things, I felt very, very comfortable with her. I'm looking forward to getting her confirmed as quickly as possible and looking forward to working with her in the future.
Any indication of what her priorities are going to be come day one?
No, not so much. We talked a lot about just the condition of agriculture right now, the fact that if you're growing something, you're probably losing money. The economists tell us that things as far as commodity prices, input cost, are probably not going to get any better.
Well, we're going to get into the ag economy here in just a minute, but you also met with Lee Zeldin, the nominee to lead the EPA. We're hearing some concerns among farmers about his track record when it comes to biofuels. But what were some of your biggest takeaways from that meeting? Do you think he will be a friend to agriculture?
I think he will be a friend of agriculture. One of the great problems that we've got is permitting in agriculture. Adhering to what the Supreme Court said regarding waters of the U.S., all of those kind of things. What farmers need is certainty with the law, and so I think he's gonna be a breath of fresh air.
You've been vocal lately about the pain across farm country, specifically among row crop farmers. During your remarks on the Senate floor this week, you painted the dire picture and said, quote, "We need to provide producers with the certainty and predictability to be able to go to the bank and have confidence that help is on the way so they can continue farming." You're pushing for emergency relief. Will that be enough, Senator?
Hopefully so. I mean, we're in this situation. The only thing I would wonder about your survey is who doesn't think that we're in a recession. We simply have to come up with a package that helps them get through this year. The last 2 years, as I mentioned earlier, are the worst ever as far as decrease in ag income. And then going forward, if we don't get if we don't get the risk management tools adjusted for inflation, then the bankers aren't going to have the certainty that they're going to, their risk is going to be less, and it's going to be difficult for a lot of farmers to get the financing that they need. So it's not only the economists that are telling us, it's not only the farmers that are telling us, but it's all of the lenders. Everyone that's involved in agriculture lending is painting a very dire picture.
At this point, do you think the Farm Act will get passed? And if so, how will it be passed? I mean, will it be attached to the continuing resolution, or what's the plan?
Well, we're working literally as we speak to get the language together, to get agreement from both sides of the aisle, Democrats and Republicans, to move forward. So I can't tell you, for sure that it's going to get passed. I know if you've read anything that I've said for the last year and a half, you know where I'm at on this, and I understand how important it is. As far as where it would be attached, it would probably be attached to the continuing resolution.
Well, Farm Bill, you also mentioned that, a Farm Bill extension. I mean, that sounds likely at this point. Should we just bank on an extension, and is an extension enough considering the dire picture in farm country that you continue to talk about?
Well, I think that we have to have an extension because it runs out, at the end of December. So we need an extension. The extension will be for a year, but that doesn't mean, and this is really important, that doesn't mean that we have to go for a year.
Well, with the new Farm Bill, then next year, do you start from scratch, Senator, or do you use the existing framework already set by the House?
And this is really important. We've had many hearings, many listening sessions throughout the country. We're continuing to do that right now. So it's not like all of that work goes away. So we've got some ideas. I have a framework, GT has a framework, Congressman Scott has ideas, Senator Klobuchar will have some ideas. So we'll have new ideas. We need to get those gelled together. But the underpinning, all of the work that we've done, the conditions in ag country, all of that is there. So no, it's not like starting over at all.
Senator, we really appreciate you taking the time to join us this weekend. We need to take a quick break, and then we'll have much more right here on U.S. Farm Report.